So now I have made it to mount, all right? Mount for a long time was sort of a position that I was like, I know it's supposed to be a good position. I know I'm supposed to really like it, but I didn't feel very stable from here. So one of the things that I like to do to stabilize and mount, number one, I have to recognize what kind of mount I have. Am I low or am I high? And by high, I mean up here. People are going to defend and react differently depending on where you're sitting, right? So from this position, what I want to think about doing is if my partner looks to push my hips away or they put their elbows in, right? I want to think about lifting and pulling my knee underneath. Lifting, pulling my knee underneath. Okay. I was just helping some gentlemen over here. They were asking about, oh, my partner's arm is tucked in too tight and I can't push the arm away. How am I supposed to come to cross side? Use your knee. Use a stronger body part. What's stronger, my knee or Roy's elbow? My knee, right? Plus I have gravity. So anytime I can use those things, I want to employ them. And look, when I get to this position, I want to lay low. But watch what happens. I'm in a bit of a higher mount right now. I'm not holding mount like this, okay? Roy, what does this feel like to you? Just
no weight, no base.
No weight?
Yeah, no pressure.
No pressure. But I'm mounting you, right? Okay, but you see, my butt comes off the ground. Once you get to this position, guys, very small adjustment that made a big difference for me. I want to think about curling my tailbone down and dropping my abdomen into my partner's gut or their chest, right? So right here. So as opposed to just sitting here, I want to think about expressing my body down just a tiny bit. What does it feel like now?
Way heavier.
Why?
Because your center of gravity is on your sacrum. It's going down.
Yeah. But the difference is this. Okay? You almost can't notice it. So I want to think about extending my belly and dropping it right into my partner's chest. That has I don't know, would you say psychological effect?
Definitely.
Right? I'm obviously smaller than Roy, but the idea is if I can make myself feel heavier, he's going to feel like I'm more stable. So be more mindful when you're holding a top position. Don't just go, I have mount. Yes, you have mount, but I have nothing here, really. I'm going to get popped off. But if I'm able to sit down, drop my base a little bit, and really drop my stomach down, so maybe you can hear it in my voice versus talking like this. Right? So I'm here. It's very different. It's a more active position, even though I'm not doing anything yet. So I want you guys to keep that in mind when you're holding the mount. And the next thing we're going to look at is when our partner looks to try and escape. So we're going to set up our attack from here. Roy maybe has his arms in front of my chest. He's looking to push away. We're just going to look to grab a cross grip. Okay, so my arm is going to cross over and grab his arm. I'm not attacking the same side. And as I come here, I'm going to lift, and I'm going to put my knee behind his shoulder blade, right? Right here. So it's enough to just keep him on edge. Now, as he does that and he tries to fight me, I'm also going to use my chest. Okay, so now it's my whole body on his arm versus I'm just trying to pull his arm across. Okay? So once I get here, I continue to drop down until I can look to bring my arm underneath. Okay? So we're going to go for a head and arm choke, okay? But we're going to use chest pressure to get there. So again, I go for a cross grip, I lift, I bring my knee just underneath so he can't lower himself all the way. Then I look to use my chest to apply the pressure and keep him down. As I get there, I can drop my body lower and I can scoop underneath. This is the main detail when we get to the head and arm. When I learned head and arm, I learned to drop my ear to the shoulder, put the hand on the bicep, hand on the head, dismount, and walk clockwise, right? Or whichever way you're applying the choke. What I want you guys to think about here is as soon as you drop down, okay, my inside arm, the elbow is touching the mat. Before I do anything crazy, I put my fingers on my bicep, and I'm going to lift. Okay, when I lift, my fingers are going to come around my bicep a bit deeper. Then I'm going to drop on this elbow. Then I'm going to lift and bring my elbow in. Then I'm going to lift again, and I'm going to draw my fingers around my tricep even deeper. Drop down, cinch my elbow in. Lift. Now you can see I'm almost all the way around my tricep. Put the hand on the forehead, sink your hips down, and look for the finish. Now, when you guys get here, when you guys get here, you want to think about dropping your hips all the way to the floor. You don't want to do the choke like this or like this. The closer you are to the floor, the easier it is for you to sink it in. The other thing to remember is when you're applying a choke, your partner's going to react the moment they feel you start going for it, right? So it's kind of like the north-south choke. You have to ease into how you're going to actually set the choke on. If you start squeezing as soon as you get into mount, your partner's going to start defending as soon as you get into mount. So the more you can sort of relax and set the choke on easily, you've got a better chance of finishing it. All right, so once again, from the mount, I'm here. I want to scoop my partner's elbows out of the way. When I get high enough, I drop my base down low, and if I can, I just activate my core, drop my stomach a little bit. When Roy starts looking to advance and like push me away, it's a cross grip. I pull across, bring my knee up, drop my chest down, okay? As I drop my chest down, I scoop under, I lift. So it's, I'm ratcheting my arms together. Drop the hand on top of the forehead, dismount, come low. Then I just hold, sink my hips down, and start to finish. Okay? Let's give that a go, guys. Okay, sprawl your hips down to the mat. Relax. Kick this leg back. Drop your head to the mat, like low. Nice. Relax your body, and now think about walking around. Don't carry so much tension in your body when you apply it. A lot of the times, it's kind of like when you're playing with an animal, right? Like if you jolt the animal, it's going to be all freaked out. You're almost like, yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, so a lot of the times with, I think especially with like no-gi submissions, especially around the neck, you have just trouble finishing chokes and things because a lot of people will just go right away, as opposed to coming here, hugging, and then setting it on slowly and making it a really slow finish. So relax your body a little bit more, and actually what happens is I think it also helps your body settle in to more crevices and get things a little bit tighter. I think that will help as well. Okay?
Thank you.
And there's people that'll try and squeeze the chest all the way,
Absolutely.
and having it too far out. Just have enough width that you feel comfortable, okay? It's not so much the width of your legs. Now when you get here, you just really think about like you ate like some beans for lunch. You want to really think about trying to drop that abdomen.
It's almost like he's sinking the spine.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
It's
just
very
push it.
subtle. It's
Yeah.
very subtle.
I couldn't even see the back. I was
Yeah.
looking
Arching the
for.
back and sinking the spine.
Yeah.
I know, I was saying this. I think
Is it like that?
And stop right here. Change the angle of your body. Turn towards that wall. Yeah. Nice. So when you do that, plant this hand on the floor. Rock them all the way over. Yes. Now bring your See how that frees your hand up?
Then I didn't quite get what I'm doing when I come back.
Okay, bring your elbow, so it's like this. I bring my hands in, I drop my elbow, look at my elbow, it comes in just an inch. Drop, grab it deeper, drop, bring it in an inch. So you're just narrowing the space and the slack around his neck. Stop right here. You see this knee? You have some distance between that. Go back, hip to hip. Okay? Hip to hip. Okay, sink your head down. Okay, think about like oozing into his neck. Now start walking towards me, but try and keep your hip flatter to the mat.
Oh, awesome. Thank
You
you.
see the difference?
Yeah, it's not one I've ever been comfortable with. But
Just really small details, and again, like, same thing with, like, do you ever apply the north-south choke?
not really, not that much.
Okay, it's the same thing. Everybody, when they apply north-south choke, look at my hips, they do this. See my hips? So if you learn to just relax, or if you need to even take your heels off the mat, it'll help you sink down a bit lower.
I'll try that. Thank you.
Okay, now you dismount.
So when I dismount, so I don't want to get caught in half
Keep
of
keep your heel to your butt.
Yeah.
Okay, dismount. Stop right here. Drop your body back. You're too high. Drop your body all the way back, hip to hip. Even more. Yes. Bring your ear to his ear.
Yeah.
You loosen the grip, okay? Your your left.
Oh, this.
Okay, so part of the problem is you're adjusting the submission in the middle of submission. You can't do that. Once you get it locked on, you got to keep it locked. If you slip your hand even like an inch, it sets the submission off. Do it again.
You okay?
So you're not, I want you to see the difference here, okay? Doing this keeps your arm far enough away that I can't actually bring my fingers around. Put your hand closer to his head so that when I rock up, I can actually bring my fingers closer and around the tricep, and then look, I drop my elbow, and watch my right elbow. I was here, I pull it in. I bring up the arm, and I wrap around again deeper, and I drop, and then I bring it in. So I want to just take that space away. Do it again.
I tried for this right away.
Yeah.
Can you still work your knee under? And I struggle with that on top because I teach this to my students
Okay.
and I can't get this on.
So if that happens, I would come here, lay chest pressure.
Do it on the other side.
Well, from here, and just into the back. So if your partner is maybe like heavier, bigger, stronger than you, you can't lift this elbow. You know, if you can't pull it out this way, let them continue to escape this side. As soon as they lift this, then I'm going to use my chest on the opposite side. Does that make sense? Yeah. About the subtle details there, it should be a pretty tight way to get that choke on. I know for myself it made a big difference. The head and arm was something I used to do a long time ago, and then I stopped doing it for a long time, so I was like, man, this stuff doesn't work. But making those little adjustments, I find, changes the way in which we're able to apply it. One thing I think you guys should also consider is when you're pulling this arm across, I don't want to just drop my chest flat on my partner. When I bring the arm across, I'm going to drop and make sure that I'm at a bit of an angle. When I'm at an angle, if Roy pushes into me, it's a very different feeling than if I'm here, okay? So having this can help control your partner a little bit more. And again, once I'm ready to actually come up and start applying the choke, some of you guys, when you're rocking your arms back and forth, are sort of posting a bit too far so you can't reach your arm. Bring it in closer. Wrap your hand, drop. Every time I roll in, guys, I want to bring my right elbow closer to my left elbow, right? And then I rock back up and make it tighter, okay? You'll notice when I get here, my head is pretty close to the floor. I'm not applying it from up here, okay? So if your head is loose, that's another thing that you need to consider. And as you get closer to the floor, the choke becomes more effective versus here, or here, or here, okay? So relax. This is gonna make it a little bit more effective.